If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Hosted by Zay Brotherz, the MMA Brotherz.
Hello everyone. Welcome again to Straight Talk MMA.
Yo, what's up?
Zay, and I'm here with my brother.
What's up?
My brother Bones Hendricks in the building. How's your Friday?
Hey, it's going pretty good. Ready to get the show on the road.
Hey, I gotta say one time, shout out to Vencat, man. That intro be taking me through a roller coaster of emotions. You feel me?
Yeah.
I see the Bigfoot knocking out Overeem against the cage. I get hyped. I see Masvidal get his block knocked off by Kamaru Usman. I get sad.
Yeah.
Then I see Max Holloway thrashing Calvin Kattar. I get hyped all over again.
Good intro.
Yes, sir. What you drinking on?
So Long Island. How about you?
Not a bad choice. I'm keeping it simple with the vodka on the rocks.
All right.
So tonight we are here, coming off a historic weekend in UFC history from last week, with I would say close to flawless performance by Sean Strickland. We move right on into UFC Noche, a fight night, free card where the UFC females flyweight title is on the line. We have Valentina Shevchenko trying to get her belt back from Alexa Grasso in a rematch of what was one of the biggest upsets of the year. This has been a year of upsets, I must say.
That's what I was going to say. The Sean Strickland, that was probably the biggest upset of the year, but also this was a pretty huge upset too because nobody gave Alexa Grasso a shot in the first fight, nor did I. And not only did she win, but she finished it too.
Kamaru Usman got upset this year.
Yeah.
A lot of titles changing hands, man.
Yeah.
So if you can scroll all the way down.
All right.
Just so y'all know, from this point forward, we're gonna be keeping score of our picks, and whoever get the most fights right, I guess by the end of the year or whatever, we're gonna have to figure out some kind of punishment or something like that.
Get my pen and paper ready.
Yes, sir. So first bout of the night, we got two females debuting in the strawweight division. Not really much for me to break down as I don't know either one of these ladies, but there's been a lot of talent coming in lately. They got two people debuting in the first fight. It's kind of interesting to see what's going to happen and how that's going to shake out. You know any of these women?
No,
Nunson and Marnik, man.
No, I don't know neither one either, so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen.
All right, so no breakdown for that one. We'll move up to the lightweight bout, 155 pounds. You got Alex Reyes versus Charlie the Cannibal Campbell. I noticed Charlie Campbell's debut. Don't really know much about him. I do know that it's been a while since I've seen Alex Reyes. Considering I don't know who his opponent is, not gonna really break that one down either. Um, anything from you?
Now, was he injured or he just for Reyes? Because I know he's been a minute for him.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. To be honest with you, I completely forgot he was even on the roster.
I'm shocked. This fight right here is on the prelim. This women's flyweight belt.
Yeah, well, they only got 11 fights on this card, so I feel like they just got straight to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, in this bout right here, I'm extremely excited to see this one. You got Tracy Cortez versus Jasmine Jasdavicius in a women's flyweight bout. You got number 14 versus number 15. So both of these women are ranked. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. What you got?
For this one, Tracy Cortez, I believe she's 4-0 in the UFC. Um, she has a lot of hype behind her. Jasmine Jasdavicius, her last fight in Canada, she beat Miranda Maverick. And that was a big upset, and that got her ranked in that fight. Um, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, if you look at the odds, you see it's pretty much dead even. It's kind of like a pick 'em almost. I mean, technically Cortez is the favorite because she, got about like 6 points, but it's pretty much a dead even fight. Um, I wouldn't be shocked that Jasmine won the fight, but if I had to pick, I would pick Cortez to win in the competitive decision. I don't think she's going to dominate her, but I think she's going to win by decision.
Yeah, Tracy Cortez is actually 10-0, 10-1, I believe 10-0. Jasmine Jasdavicius, this is probably her fourth or fifth fight in the UFC. I feel like her last two fights, she's kind of like caught my attention in the way that she fights. The way I see this fight playing out, Tracy Cortez is a very strong grappler. Jasmine Jasdavicius she got good jiu-jitsu as well. So I feel like
Usually, when you have two grapplers fighting each other, it cancels out and it's a stand-up fight.
right. And that's where I feel like Jasdavicius has the edge in the stand-up. I feel like she's a way better kickboxer. And obviously in her last fight you saw against Miranda Maverick, she got good takedown defense, but at the same time I feel like if it goes there, she'll be able to hold her own. If she can keep it standing, I can see her pulling off the victory. I do see a decision coming, and I think Tracy Cortez is going to take her first L in the UFC just for the simple fact that I think Jasmine is a more well-rounded fighter. She got more tools in her toolbox.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the result.
At one point, she was a bigger underdog, but I guess the money started coming in on her.
Yeah, because I feel like the hardcore MMA fans they kind of know.
Right. Hey, does the winner get Brian Ortega? So next up we have a flyweight bout between Edgar Chairez and Daniel Lacerda. Do you remember Lacerda, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I believe I seen Tyrese fight once before too. In the UFC, I think this is his second fight. His first fight, I believe he lost by like a decision, I believe. But I'm a big Daniel Lacerda fan. His first fight in the UFC, I seen him fight. He lost that fight, but he's the kind of fighter that he just, not to, show his intelligence, but kind of like young and dumb. Whereas like he just don't know what he don't know, and he's just gonna come out and just bring it and just be an all-out war. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna just leave it all in the ring, and I definitely respect that. I'm gonna pick him to win this fight by, I would say, probably a second round TKO, referee stoppage.
Yeah, the thing that's intriguing to me about this is they both got similar records. With Chavez being 10-5, Lacerda being 11-5. Um, like you said, Chavez, I do believe you're correct on saying that this is the second fight in the UFC. But as far as Lacerda goes, um, all action from the moment the bell rings, from the word go, he's all action. I feel like his two performances I saw him in, he came out extremely hot in the first round and ended up fading in the mid second. Hit that 7-minute wall that I refer to sometimes. Um, his last fight was against CJ Vergara, and he had Vergara literally, he chased him around the octagon. He almost finished him early, and then Vergara came back and pulled out a finish in the third round in his hometown. Um, so I'm looking to see what's going to happen. I would pick Lacerda, but I feel like if you do it, he gonna do it early. I'm looking to see what improvements he made on his cardio, to be honest with you, or if he kind of like if those two losses made him kind of tone it down a little bit, be more tame, more calculated. So I'm really interested to see how that play out. I'm really interested, I should say, to see how that plays out. I do feel like this will be an action-packed fight, as well as the fight before it with women's flyweights. So I feel like I don't know. I'm just interested to see how it play out. If I had to pick, who did you pick? You picked Lacerda.
Yeah, second round TKO referee stoppage.
All right. So if you pick Lacerda, I'm gonna just pick Chavez because I really feel like it's a toss up. I don't really know too much about Chavez, but I do know if Lacerda falls into the same traps that he set for himself, like he always do, then it's gonna be one of them nights. If you do get the finish, I do agree with you. It'll be early though.
Yeah. I'm excited for this next fight.
I was just gonna say the same thing. We got two up and coming middleweights ready to do battle in the octagon as Roman Kopylov squares off against Josh Frim.
Josh Frim, I don't remember his last fight. I know he won, but the fight before, he took on a young, up and coming, undefeated fighter who that was his first fight in the UFC, and he had like a lot of hype behind him on the regional and the local scene. Frim just straight up destroyed the guy, and he just made him like he didn't belong, kind of in the octagon. Frim, he real tough, he real gritty. He not finna just lay down. As far as Roman Kopylov,
his last fight, I believe, was against Jamie Pickett.
Jamie Pickett.
Yeah. And before that, it
right.
was the guy from Florida. He came off Contender Series. I don't know his first name, but it's something Dumas or something like that.
Yep. So Josh Frim, I gotta say he's pretty good. He real tough. Roman Kopylov, I would say that he has the better striking coming off his last one, which is a head kick knockout, I believe. He's very, I would say, technical. He's not going to come in at rush. Whereas Josh Frim, he's more of a brawler. I would pick Roman Kopylov to win this fight by decision. I just feel like he got the better stand up, and he's more technical on the feet.
I agree with everything you said. I don't know if I could have laid it out better myself. Roman Kopylov I think he has the higher pedigree. Josh Frim could just make it an all-out war, and I feel like that would be the best chance he has. But I get excited to see Roman Kopylov fight. He's kind of like a younger. All right, when I say this, don't like. I'm only using this because because of my failure to think of anyone else to compare it to. But he's like that Adesanya type kickboxer, but just way less slick. But he's still, I'm not going to say way less slick, but he's real slick and he set traps. You get what I'm saying?
It's so funny. It's so funny you said that because in my head I was thinking Adesanya, but we're not saying that he's on Adesanya's level or has Adesanya's striking.
Chill out.
Yeah. Right, but we're just saying that as far as striking, his striking is comparable to Adesanya.
Yeah, he like to set traps and he like to keep his range. He don't use the feints as good as Adesanya, and I don't think he got the footwork as good as Adesanya. But I pick him to win by KO.
Kopylov?
Yes, sir.
You think it's gonna be like a head kick KO, or you think it's gonna be you gonna put him out cold, or
I think it's gonna be more of like a TKO, like a referee stoppage. He might melt him against the cage or something like that, or he might drop him with a body kick and then get on top and finish. Hot
shout
take
out
on
to
the record.
yeah, I see. Shout out to Tequila and Thinking Black said it's historic. Yeah, I'm real interested to see what Kopylov can do. I think he's definitely a future contender. I don't know how far up he can go, but he's definitely going to crack the top 15 at some point.
Yeah, I like how they giving him the slow roll.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
This
actually
is a,
looking forward to this fight too.
I was just gonna say this is another fight I'm looking forward to. Um, and I don't know if I failed to mention that they call him the UFC Noche because this is on Mexican Independence Day. That's why they have a lot of Mexicans on the card. Um, in this strawweight bout, you got the always game, always tough Elise Reed versus Lupi Godinez.
Yeah, I like Lupi Godinez. She's I would say one of my favorite female fighters. I put her like in the top 10.
Really?
Uh, yeah, I'm a big fan of her. I think that she's gonna come out and bring the pressure and put Elise Reed out, which is it's not an easy thing to do, by the way. But I think she's gonna have the Mexican backing and the home backing, even though they're not in Mexico. But trust me, it's gonna be a lot of flags in there. Trust me. Um, I think she's gonna put her out in the second round. TKO referee stoppage. Or matter of fact, I would say third round. I think she's gonna beat on her and beat her up for 3 rounds and eventually put her out in the third.
I don't see nobody stopping Elise Reed as far as finishing her, to be honest with you. And I take it a step further and say your girl gonna get smashed.
Ooh. All right,
The
we'll
reason
see.
why I feel that way is because I feel like Lupi Godinez is gonna try to use her ground and pound. Um, I definitely see her going in for a lot of takedowns, but Elise Reed, she's extremely durable, and I feel like she's always counted out, always the underdog, and she known for pulling the rabbit out of the hat. I think she's gonna get the upset, and I'm um I'm a big fan of her for the simple fact that she's an underdog and she's slept on. So that kind of made me like her. I feel like if she started getting real popular, I'll probably move on. But I don't know. I see Lupi trying to spam takedowns and not really being able to get them, or if she get them, I could see Elise Reed getting back to her feet. And I feel like there's nothing worse for a wrestler than the up and down, getting the
Yep.
takedown and having to get back up because those takedowns, a takedown, I feel like is the hardest thing to do in MMA. You get what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
takes the most energy, and I feel like after that, Elise Reed might take over. She might lose a close decision, but I feel like she could very well get like a 29-28 on the scorecards. It just depends on how the judges going to see like the ground control time and how much ground control time she have. I feel like this is going to be kind of like a chess match slash a test of wills. You get what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah, like I said, I don't think she's gonna put her away easy. And she might not even win. Like all 3 rounds. She might even lose a round, but I definitely see her winning this fight, though. Of
All right, we'll see. I love it when we disagree.
course.
All right, next up in the featherweight division, we have Fernando Padilla versus Kyle Nelson. Fernando, I do believe, is making his debut.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know too much about Fernando. I know more about Kyle Nelson. So just by default, I would pick Kyle Nelson to win just on a decision. He's just kind of I would say like a well-rounded fighter. I would consider him a UFC vet, but yeah, I look him to just take it by decision.
Yeah, when it comes to these fights with people making their debuts and you really don't know them, you don't gotta add that on our record of picks.
All right, cool.
Uh, Yeah, I can't really break this one down because I don't know what Fernando is bringing to the table. I don't like that smile on his face though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of want him to lose just because of his face, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Next up, we have Christos Diagos versus Daniel Zellhuber. Christos Diagos has been in the UFC. I think he was like 1-0. I mean 0-1 or 0-2, and then he got cut. Now they're bringing him back versus Daniel Zellhuber, who I haven't seen in a while.
Um, Christos, he's more of the vet here. His record is like 20-10, and like bro said, this is his second stint in the UFC. So I mean, maybe you could label him as a journeyman. Thinking Black say, yeah, that face is not fan friendly. um, Daniel Zellhuber, he's 13-1, with 7 KOs, 2 submissions, and 4 decisions. So he's more of the, I would say, up and coming prospect here. So I will pick him to win. I don't really know much about either one either, but I'll pick him to win.
Yeah, I picked Daniel Zellhuber too. I feel like Christos Diagos is kind of like gonna come in wild and reckless, and I feel like Daniel Zellhuber is more like a calculated fighter. He do got a really good ground game, and obviously from his record, he's a finisher. If I had to pick, I would pick him too. I feel like at this point, Christos Diagos is one of those guys where it's like I feel like he just probably in it to take it as far as he can, but I can never really see him being like a top 10 fighter.
Agreed.
Top 15 even. That's just my white belt opinion. But we can move right along to the next fight when we have Terrence Mitchell, who just recently fought.
Yeah, he did.
I think he fought Cody Simon,
Yeah.
the South African guy from Contender Series.
Oh yeah.
The youngest fighter in the UFC. This man is still in high school, y'all. Raul El Nino No Problemo Rosas Jr. coming off his first loss in the UFC.
And you was there for that, bro.
Yeah, I was in the building. People didn't like it, but I mean, I feel like,
Bro,
what's up?
no, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I think, I mean, true enough, he came in off the Contender Series. He earned his way in, but I still feel like they should have gave him a developmental league. I mean, a developmental deal because I don't think he rounded out his skill set, and I feel like he's used to running through lighter competition. So he came to the UFC feeling like he can do the same thing, and it worked in his first fight. But as we know, each time they match you up with stiffer competition if you keep winning. And when he ran into somebody else who was like more of a seasoned vet, they kind of stifled his takedowns, and he started looking like Jesse Taylor out there, just desperate for the takedowns and couldn't get him and got pieced up on the feet. I also feel like, I mean, he's still in high school. He hasn't really grown into his body, so he don't got that grown man strength yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I do feel like Terrence Mitchell is also the same way. As far as he's just looking to grapple, there will probably be minimal striking in this match. And I feel like they honestly throwing the dog a bone in Raul Rosas Jr. They're trying to get him back on the win track. I see him getting the submission in this fight pretty easy and early. Probably won't make it out the first round.
Yeah, the UFC is definitely, trying to build his kid up long term. And like you said, when he went up against somebody who was more of a seasoned vet, like they stifled his takedown, and it's like his game plan was like, okay, either takedown or bust,
Right.
And once he wasn't able to get the takedown, in turn, which wasn't allowing him to get the submissions in or even submission attempts, is like he didn't have a plan B. He didn't know what to do after that. Um,
And
he's
not to
not.
mention, I think it gassed him too. Like I was saying earlier, when
Yeah.
you go for the takedowns and don't get them, and you
Yep.
fighting hard for them, you get gassed out.
Yep. It's just like kind of like wasted energy, because you exerting all this energy and to come up short again and again and again and again, and it's also mentally discouraging too.
And it's predictable.
Very predictable. If Terrence Mitchell was a elite striker, I would pick him, or even if he had like great takedown defense. But kind of like you said, his takedown defense isn't anything elite or special. I feel like he will be able to get taken down, and if he do get taken down, he probably will get submitted. I would give him to the second round.
I would even say not even him getting taken down, he's gonna welcome it because I feel like he got faith in his ground game.
See, that's a bad idea.
Exactly. But I feel like they both want to do the same thing, and that thing that they want to do, which is jiu-jitsu, I feel like
Raul, he better at it.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like this is a pretty simple pick.
I agree.
And but question: if Raul loses, what do you think? What do you think happens?
They give him somebody even. They give him another person, but that's even weaker because it'll only be 2 losses in a row. So
yeah, but I feel like if he loses this one, I feel like it kind of proves that he's not ready.
Hey, but something you said,
he don't have a bright future, but I would just feel like he's not ready.
Something you said I want to touch on is as far as him not having a grown man body yet, because I feel like he's not able to get those takedowns, and he won't be able to be as effective in the clinch going up against those seasoned vets, because he ain't got the body for it yet,
I can agree with you on that. So, up next, the people's main event.
Yep.
You got my boy Jack 3 Names, Jack Della Maddalena versus Kevin the Trailblazer Holland. And oh boy, I cannot wait for this fight.
Hey, bro, I want you to go first because Jack 3 Name is a person that you called out from the get-go. He's been your guy, and you're a huge Kevin Holland fan. Kevin Holland is your guy too, so I want to hear you go first on this one.
Man, no matter, talk about the thrill and the agony. No matter what happens in this fight, I'll be happy and hurt. Jack Della Maddalena has extremely good boxing, extremely good counters. Yeah, thinking black, it is a tough one. Remember, I told you Jack Della Maddalena is going to be your future favorite fighter. Told you that about like a while ago. But yeah, Della Maddalena didn't look too impressive in his last fight, although he did cut weight like twice in 3 weeks to make that fight happen. Della Maddalena, like I said, really good boxing. He did show a few holes in his game, but you got to wonder if that was just him being drained, cutting weight twice in 3 weeks, and you also got to wonder if the guy he fought was his debut, but that guy had a head made out of metal, man, because Della Maddalena was hitting him with some tough shots, but he wasn't going away. I feel like he kind of got gassed trying to put him out a little bit, and that was the first time we got to see him fight off of his back. He survived, but I don't know if he looked less impressive or if the other guy was just that good. I feel like time will reveal that as we see him fight again. I can't even remember his name. But Kevin Holland, on the other hand, bounces back and forth from 170 to 185. He been at 170 for a while now. They're trying to keep him there. He'll fight anybody, anytime. He don't care the weight class, obviously. He's a very, very, very good striker. Started off in Kung Fu. Has a black belt on the Travis Lutter, who doesn't just give those things out. So the ground game is definitely there. His last fight, he submitted Michael Chiesa. Well, I think it was a Darce, correct?
Yep.
Kevin Holland's long for the division, very fast, got power in his hands. This should be a very entertaining fight. I'm going with Kevin Holland on this one though, man. I feel like this is definitely Jack's toughest test. I feel like Kevin Holland has been in there with the elite strikers. I know a lot of people are picking Della Maddalena. Kevin Holland, though, I feel like he gonna pull this one off. I could see Kevin Holland finishing Jack Della Maddalena. I can't really see Jack Three Names finishing him, but I'm leaning more towards a decision. I wish these guys had 5 rounds to settle this one, but they only got 3. This is one of those times where I would be in favor of a 5-round co-main event. I feel like Kevin Holland's speed and his, I can't really say the footwork because Della Maddalena got really good footwork. He cut real good angles. His boxing is, I feel like Kevin Holland got more weapons. He has the ground game, but I don't know if he'll use it unless he's forced to. I can't see either one of these guys shooting for a takedown, but I do give Holland the edge on the floor. I give Holland the edge as far as kickboxing, but as far as just straight boxing and being crisp with just the hands and cutting angles and stuff like that, I give that to Jack Della Maddalena. It's going. I kind of want to change my mind, but I'm sticking with Kevin Holland.
You sure?
I like Kevin Holland for the W. Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to take your boy Jack?
Nah, I'm gonna stick with Kevin Holland. I feel like at 170, anybody that can hold their own and almost finish Ronda Boy in a stand-up fight, strictly striking, I feel like you can't really go against him. You get what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Hey, look, this fight right here.
Thinking Black, who you got?
He said, "Yeah, I really want to see y'all picks on this one." But this fight right here is the fight that I'm most excited for, and I think I speak for you too. On this is the fight that you're most excited for. Nothing to against the main event and those females. I'm excited for that fight too. It's just, man, these are 2 dogs right here. Kevin Holland and Jack Della Maddalena. My brother told me about him from the first time he seen him, and he been right ever since. He hasn't lost a fight. His last fight was against the guy name is Basel Hafez, I believe. That was a real grinding, tough, gritty fight because he was real persistent with the takedown. And the one thing that I didn't like was that Jack kept going for the guillotine. And I feel like against a more elite fighter like Kevin Holland, that'll just set him up to get submitted or to get finished any other kind of way. Because as we've seen, Kevin Holland can finish you damn near any kind of way, basically. Look at the Jacare fight. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Kevin Holland versus Jacare Souza. But
Outlaw 77 said, I think I'm going with Holland, but there's some emotion sneaking in there.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to say that Jack has better stand up. I would say he has better boxing. But to your point though, Kevin Holland definitely has more weapons, Like Jack ain't gonna catch him with a head kick finish, but Kevin Holland can do that to him. Jack ain't gonna catch him probably with like a crazy elbow or something like that, but Kevin Holland can do that to him, So Kevin Holland is more versatile, but I just feel like Jack is more crisp when it comes to the boxing and the angles and the footwork and the head movement and everything like that. Kevin Holland is more, I would say creative and more. I don't want to say wild, but he's more. I could say he's more versatile with his techniques. Jack,
hey, do me a favor.
What's up?
Click on those arrows. Let me see some stats.
Jack better not let this fight go to the ground because if you do, he's going to be in some big, big trouble.
I don't think Kevin will try to take it there. They might end up there off of a scramble. But you know what? Della Maddalena, I wanted to see his output because he does have, he's all action. He does have a high volume. He throw a high volume of strikes at you. and he's very good at getting out of the way when you try to answer back. We have seen him deal with the reach and deal with a taller, longer, lankier fighter when he fought Randy Brown, and he made real quick work of him. So
It's
I don't
taking a
know.
while to load up.
I feel like Della Maddalena averages something like 7.5, 8 strikes per minute, something like that. But to your point, in his last fight, it was a grimy, and his fight IQ, one could question it because he kept getting taken down the same exact way. He would go for a guillotine, and he would get kind of like judo thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
Look at
he
significant
can't-
strikes.
All right, hold on. But he can't do that against Kevin Holland. At the end of the day, I'm going to pick Jack to win by decision.
I love it when we disagree.
And that's your boy, too. I'm picking your boy against you, and you didn't pick him.
Kind of like how I did you last time. See how that
Yeah,
worked out?
against Tuivasa. All right.
All right, don't worry about it. We can move on. Oh, there we go.
But don't.
I don't got no stats for Jack.
That's weird.
That is weird. We went through all that just for them to fail us. All right, up next, the main event of the evening.
Hey, bro. Real quick, back to this previous fight. If Jack wins, where do you think he goes from there?
I don't know. I'm glad you asked me that question because I wanted to say that I feel like they gave him a real big step up in competition really, really quick. It's kind of weird how they matching him up. He went from Randy Brown, then he was actually supposed to fight Sean Brady.
Yeah.
Which is actually a big step up. I think Sean Brady is ranked higher than both of these guys. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think he is. Sean Brady had to pull out due to staph infection, and Jack Della Maddalena ended up fighting somebody else who stepped in as a late replacement. And so, I mean, you got to factor all of that into consideration when you look at how the fight played out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, bro. Sean Brady is ranked number 9, and Kevin Holland is 13.
Right.
I mean, I would give him Neil Magny is kind of like a stuff. I'll give him Vicente Luque. There you go. The winner of this fight should get Vicente Luque.
Vicente Luque, I feel like he done fought down so much. I feel like he probably gonna be trying to fight up.
We'll give the winner of this fight Jeff Neal.
Yeah, I actually saw Jeff Neal on the contender. Looked like he might be doing a little better.
Good. Thinking but see experience may get Kevin through it. Probably.
Yeah, just me. And one thing I love about Kevin Holland loves to put on the show.
Yep.
So no matter what happens, this is gonna be entertaining. Overall, this card is gonna be entertaining. I feel like this is a pay-per-view caliber card, and they're giving it to us for free. So definitely anybody, if you want to be entertained for a little while on Saturday night, you should definitely tune in. And then you can come back on Sunday and tell us what you thought. But yeah, this should be really entertaining. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm hyped up about it. Sometimes I can tell when I'm excited about a card because I let out my just at random times when I think about it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Almost like the Steelers getting ready to play or something.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move right along to the main event, women's flyweight title bout. We have Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko, who's reigned dominant over the flyweight division for a couple years now, trying to get her belt back from Alexa Grasso, who really broke through and shocked the world earlier this year with that 4th round submission victory over Valentina. And not just the submission victory, but the way she performed throughout that fight was pretty impressive. What you think gonna happen tomorrow night?
The first fight was a very entertaining fight, and it was very back and forth. Well, actually, it wasn't too back and forth. I mean, it started out being kind of back and forth, but Shevchenko, she kind of looked off to me. All right, so like the difference between this
Let me
fight.
ask you a question.
Good.
All right, you see how you said it was back and forth, but it wasn't too back and forth. Let me ask you a question. So, was it back and forth, or were you just shocked at how competitive it was?
I think it's more so I was shocked at how competitive it was. I gave Grasso no chance. You know,
Nobody did.
I've been seeing her fight since Invicta, and she came into the UFC, and you know I've been seeing her fight, and I haven't been impressed. And I thought that she was going to come through and just get mauled, whether it be through ground and pound submission or just knocked out. You know, the difference between this fight and the Adesanya fight, though, I will say that the way Strickland systematically broke down Adesanya, and I would say for this one, I wouldn't quite call it that because, you know, Shevchenko did have some moments, although very far and few between and not many, but I can see a path of her winning again. And, you know, I can see, you know, I feel like if they fought 7 times, Shevchenko will win probably 6 out of those. I mean, if they fought 10 times, Shevchenko will win 6 out of the 10. You know, we just seen one of those, you know, 1 out of 4 chances of it happening. But I'm gonna pick Shevchenko to get her belt back. I do have a lot more respect for Grasso now. You know, I'm not. I don't think she's gonna get finished. I think it's gonna be a 5-round decision. But I do think Shevchenko will be more motivated, more hungry, and you know she's gonna be on fire to get her belt back. I think she's gonna get her in the stand up. She might even drop her. I don't think she's gonna dominate her, but I do see it being, you know, I see her taking 3 rounds at least. Yeah, so I see her taking 3 rounds to Grasso's 2 rounds.
Trevor says, "FYI, The Rock just came back."
That's crazy.
So Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko looked invincible for a while. I definitely feel like I wasn't sleeping on Grasso as much as everyone else was because that move up from strawweight to flyweight definitely did wonders for her career. She's been undefeated since she moved up. She destroyed Macy Barber. She destroyed Vivian Araujo. And then even in the Valentina fight, the way she came out, her boxing, which is always pretty good, but I didn't realize she had as much power. She kind of stunned Valentina in the first round with a couple lefts. And it made you realize from round 1, this is going to be a fight. I feel like a lot of people might be sleeping on this fight, but this is going to be a very competitive fight, I feel like. Grasso, now she has the confidence and she knows that she can beat Valentina. Valentina doesn't know that she can beat Alexa Grasso. I feel like Grasso has that going on in her favor. And really, the way she beat her last time, she caught her with a spinning attack, and when she spun, she jumped on her back and got her on the ground and got her like with a rear naked choke / neck crank / jaw crusher, whatever you want to call it. It was kind of unorthodox, but it got the job done. That was in the 4th round. I feel like if it went to the scorecards, Valentina was probably up 2 rounds to 1 or 3 rounds to 1 maybe. I know she definitely outlanded her with a significant strikes, but I feel like a lot of that was on the ground when she had her in the crucifix. I feel like Grasso was a tougher challenge than Valentina expected, although I feel like with her championship mentality, She doesn't seem like the type to underestimate her opponents. One thing I will say though is I feel like this division is catching up to Shevchenko. You think so?
Yeah. Yes.
And because if
Yes.
you notice, the old guard is pretty much gone. Like the challengers such as well, you still got I'm drawing a blank, but
Claudia Gadella.
she destroyed Jessica I. She destroyed um
Andrade.
Andrade. She kind of lost a round to Jennifer Maya. Um, I'm drawing so many
Hey, but
blanks
look.
right now.
But look, let me ask you a
Lauren
question.
Murphy, she destroyed Lauren Murphy. But now, if you look at the challengers, you got Alexa Grasso. Well, she's actually the champion, but if you look at the top 5 in that division, you got
Talia
Alexa
Santos.
Grasso, you got Talia Santos, who actually probably deserved a rematch against Valentina because one could argue she won that fight. So once she
Yeah,
started
that's
fighting that new generation, like Talia Santos, Alexa Grasso got one up on her. You still got Manon Fiorot out there.
Aaron
Um,
Blanchfield.
Aaron Blanchfield is in there, and then you got Rose who just joined the division. So I feel like even if she wins this fight and gets her belt back, she won't go on another dominant reign like she did in the past. And also, um, Alexa Grasso is a lot younger. Valentina is what, 35, 36, something like that. So
Yeah.
I feel like as a fighter, she kind of is who she is. I don't expect her to not throw no spinning stuff in this fight. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like she can still improve, but I feel like being the fact that Grasso is younger, she can make larger improvements in a smaller amount of time. So that's going to be real interesting to see. However, I am going to pick Valentina because I can't pick against her. And even if she loses this fight, I'll probably pick her in the next fight. It's just what it is. I mean, I wouldn't call Alexa Grasso's win fluky, but I would ask you a question though.
What's up?
You see how this goes in waves as far as at one point it was all the grapplers were taking the belts, and then it came from grapplers to all the strikers, kickboxers specifically, kickboxing / Muay Thai. I kind of put them in the same category, even though they're two different sports. But now you see boxers like Brandon Moreno, you see boxers like Sean Strickland, boxers like Alexa Grasso. So, do you think boxing is starting to be the discipline of the moment for right now?
It definitely seems that way.
You
I
didn't
feel
think
like a
about
lot
that,
of
did you?
people. No, I never did. That's a good point. But I feel like a lot of people they take the boxing for granted, and even more in particular, fighters definitely don't take the defense the way they should. Like they sleep on their defense, you know.
Right.
But one reason why he was so successful wasn't because he just kept pressuring out of Sonya, but he had a good ass defense too, you know. And
Right,
now
and I
Sonya
feel like
wasn't
it's
able to
because of
really
that
get
boxing
his.
stance, like the head movement, the
Yeah,
weaving and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, and see because of that, that even gives more credence to Jack Three name, you know, getting the belt and being a future contender.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. That's a real
Yeah, but
good point.
I was going to ask you, how much of Alexa Grasso's win you think can be attributed to what Talia Santos did to Valentina? Because she was winning that fight kind of until her eye got swollen up, and it kind of changed the tide of the fight, in my
Um,
opinion.
I feel like you got to put them in two separate categories because I mean, and the only reason why I say that, true enough, Talia Santos is having success on the ground, and Alexa finish the fight on the ground. But I feel like it's two totally different scenarios because Talia was actually going for the takedowns, and she was getting them and she was executing them. I feel like Valentina generally, when she is in a fight and the striking is, usually the striking isn't even close, but when the striking is kind of close, or when she feel like she done striking, she always got the wrestling in her back pocket. You get what I'm saying? And she's
Yeah.
taken everybody down and dominated them when she felt like it. She got just as many knockouts as she got TKOs on the ground. And that crucifix, I mean, we were in the building when she put the crucifix on Andrade the second fight and just smashed her with elbows. Grasso, Grasso definitely. I feel like it was different because she was hanging with her on the feet. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then she capitalized on something that they trained on, that they saw on tape, which, I mean, kudos to her, because Valentina does throw a lot of spinning stuff. And when she spins, if she doesn't connect, her back gets turned. And in that moment, when she had her back turned from the spinning back fist, she jumped on it and capitalized. And it was downhill from there. So, I mean, I wouldn't say Valentina got caught, because in a sense she did get caught, but it's not like a knockout where you get caught, and it was something that was trained and executed to perfection. And Valentina was definitely holding her own on the feet, but she wasn't like running away with the fight. It was a highly competitive, highly entertaining from a technical aspect. It was one of those fights.
Right. So
But
you pick Valentina.
Yeah, I'm picking Valentina.
And you say you don't see her holding the belt for too long?
If she win it, I don't think she's gonna go on another dominant run. I can see this belt being passed around for a minute.
Yeah,
Kind of like bantamweight.
Blanchfield, and Manon Farrell. I see both of those females. If not one of them two, I feel like it might be like the next dominant champion. Probably Blanchfield, to be honest. Thinking Black said Bones for the win with the Jack 3 name. I came back at you. Trevor said, if you guys have time, I want to come up and real quick to discuss the merger. You just slide up here.
All right, that's cool. I got another question for you.
What's up?
What do you think happens if Valentina loses? You already know what I think.
She takes some time off. What are you gonna say? She move up?
Yeah, I think if she loses this fight, I think she's gonna go up to bantamweight, because they got a vacant belt over there, and they'll probably put her in the title fight.
Yeah, that's actually a real good idea.
Because the only thing that kept her from getting that belt before she went down a weight class is the fact that she got robbed against Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from Amanda Nunes, but I honestly feel like Shevchenko is the GOAT. You feel me? When it comes to women's MMA.
But why do you feel like that when?
Because I feel like she's a better fighter. Skill for skill, she's just a better fighter, in my opinion.
Even though Nunes got the names, Rousey, Holm, Cyborg.
I mean, she got home too. She never fought Cyborg, because look at it like this. Amanda Nunes.
Nunes got home, Cyborg, and Rousey.
No, I'm saying Shevchenko has also beat Holly Holm. She submitted Juliana Pena. And if you think about it like this, she's the 125 champ, right? She's extremely small for 135, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Amanda Nunes fights at 145. So all those women she was beating in the bantamweight division, including Amanda Nunes, was way bigger than her.
Right.
So, I mean, Trevor calls blasphemy, but he didn't watch both of those fights, I'm sure.
Hey, Trevor, slide up here. Overall, bro, what you got being a fighter tonight? For me, it's going to be Jack Freeman and Kevin Holland.
To me, that's the fight I'm most excited about. I feel like it's impossible for it to be boring, but honestly, you got the Grasso fight, could be a fight of the night. You got the Kevin Holland fight, could be fight of the night. You got Tracy Cortez versus Jasmine Jasovicius, that could be fight of the night. the Roman Kopylov fight could be fight of the night. I mean, I feel
I see.
like this is a
Yeah, that's gonna be knockout of the night right there.
I feel like this is a very, very, very good card, and I feel like people might sleep on it just because they're giving it for free. But honestly, if you lined up this card with the last pay-per-view card and you didn't watch it to see the results, because even though the last pay-per-view didn't look that good on paper, it delivered. I feel like if you put both of those next to each other and you said which one would you rather watch, which one would you pick?
It'll be hard. This fight, the Kevin Holland and Jack Three Name fight, is like an all-time fight for me. And I like my girl Lupi, and the Cortez fight too. So those 3 fights are really interesting.
You just named 4 fights though.
I said the Kevin Holland fight, the Lupi Godinez fight, the Cortez fight,
and the main.
Yeah, in the main event. I wasn't counting that, but.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I feel like on paper this card is way better and it's free. So, I mean, and it has less fights. The
other card had a lot of setups to win. Like the Allbird fight and my boy Pleasure Man. Those are both fights that was set up for the hometown kid to win. You feel me?
Right.
All right.
What you got, Trevor?
Peace. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm coming up here like a panel guest. Yeah,
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, good show. But what I wanted to touch on, we touched on it on Wednesday, Wrestling with Reality. We touched on the TKO formation, basically. And I just wanted to get what you thought about it specifically, because I know you aren't a fan of it as far as the merger, because you think that they're going to start incorporating. So you, basically, from what I'm gathering from you, is you think that this is the Aquaman thing you guys were talking about. Man, that looked good.
Yeah, the preview looked good.
Yeah, basically, you're talking like they made WWE up your UFC.
Yeah, that's how I feel, man. And all right, it's just one thing that turns me off from WWE is I feel like they try to use too many MMA terms to try to legitimize it when it's like we already know what it is. Like, don't sit here and tell me, oh, this person had a training camp and they had to train for this person, now they fighting this person. Because first of all, it's not a fight. Second of all, there is no training camp, so stop it. Like and it's just it just annoys me so bad. Sometimes me and the missus be watching wrestling and we'll hear certain terms and we'll just look at each other like, why are they doing this? And so I feel like this opens the door for more of that type of stuff. Even when I know DC can't wait to get his hands on some WWE action because he's a big time WWE fan. I could see a lot more MMA fighters doing things for WWE, and I feel like it's gonna kind of muddy the waters. I heard a statement that I don't know who this guy is, Lawrence Epstein. I don't know who he is or what power he holds, or maybe y'all can fill me in on that.
I think he's a CFO
of TKO.
Yeah.
He said they asked Dana White about a comment that he made saying that the goal is to one day make all UFC fans WWE fans and all WWE fans UFC fans. And when I saw Dana's reaction to that, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna be all right, because he felt like that was the dumbest thing he heard. You're like, I love him to death, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So I actually had that clip loaded in the studio, but I took it out. I didn't think we were going to use it again, so I don't like to just leave things hanging around. But because I played it Wednesday where Dana White was saying that it'll never happen, basically. So here's the deal. I would be worried about. I would share your same sentiments if, for one reason, if Vince McMahon was a majority anything. Vince McMahon is literally a figurehead. He's basically he's just there right now because of his name. When these indictments come down and everything, who knows? He may not even be there in a year or so.
You heard what was in his contract, right? His stipulation.
What that he can't be voted out or anything like that?
The only way he can leave is if he resigns, he's incapacitated or death.
There's always ways around that. He's
All
not.
right.
He can't. So what I'm saying though, he can't make any. He in his current position, he can't make any influence on UFC. So you don't have to worry. You won't see any UFC. You won't see any WWE into UFC crossover. What you will see, though, and I don't see why it's a bad idea. I mean, you got Adesanya acting like he's the Undertaker in his ring entrance. What you will see,
that was dope, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was dope.
What you will see is a lot of you'll see a lot of ringside sitting now. You'll see a lot of older fighters towards the tail end of their career, maybe dabbling into WWE, which there's no issue with that because a lot of them do that. So there's not an issue with that.
Michael Bisping already said he want to clothesline somebody.
See, look at that. Because see, you're being the elitist, but
yeah, I am.
But you don't know. See, the problem is, and I'm not saying it's you, but the problem is that I see with the MMA fans.
I'm always the problem, Trevor.
Not necessarily the fighters. The fans act like what they have is so pure when the truth of the matter is everybody loves wrestling. They just won't say it.
I'll say this.
Everybody at some point wants to get in the ring and do a crossbody drop or something like that.
I'll say this. I feel like there will be more. I feel like it'll be easier to get. Don't get me wrong. Me personally, I'm a fan of both. It's just like I grew up on wrestling. I was always a hardcore wrestling fan long before I even knew what the UFC was. When I first got into MMA, I thought boxing was more entertaining. MMA eventually won me over. Now it's to the point where I will never really talk down on wrestling fans and try to talk about it like it's BS and it's so lame that you watch that because I'm still a wrestling fan. And even if I wasn't still a wrestling fan, the fact that I've been one for so long is like that would be me being a hypocrite. But what I will say is it's like I think it'll be easier to get wrestling fans to enjoy MMA than it would be for some MMA elitists, hardcore MMA fans to enjoy wrestling because it's easier to go from the scripted to the unscripted than it is to go from the unscripted to the scripted. You get what I'm saying?
But why can't they do both?
I mean, they could. I'm not saying they can't, but I'm just saying I feel like it's harder for a person who only likes MMA to get into wrestling than it is for a person who likes wrestling to get into MMA. Like I know people who are MMA fans who laugh at me because I entertain watching wrestling. You get what I'm saying? But I can't think of anyone that would laugh at you who's a wrestling fan because you watch MMA.
Well, so I got two more things and then I'm gonna leave. But the older I get, I'm starting to realize, first of all, that I don't give a damn what anybody thinks.
You shouldn't.
I'm starting to embrace more what they consider nerd culture and stuff like that. I just bought my new Batman shirt. I just bought another Macho Man shirt. I got my AEW shirt. So what I'm saying is people just at the end of the day going to like what they like. And I think that this merger is going to bring out that closeted wrestling fan that poses as a UFC elitist because now they're under the same umbrella. So
it's a lot of those too because it's a lot of closeted wrestling fans, period. And me and the missus were talking about why is it that when you go to an event or when you see the crowd and you see all those people like at a wrestling pay-per-view, they sell out way bigger stadiums than the UFC does. You get what I'm saying? So our question is, where are these people in real life? And it's like, you see them, they just don't admit it that they're those people.
Hey, listen to all y'all wrestling fans out there. Don't be ashamed, man. It's okay that you like wrestling. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You like what you like, and don't give a damn about what people say about what you like. If you like it, then you like it. Wrestling is amazing, you know.
And
But a lot
I
of
would
people
even say the same
are
thing with UFC. Like when we go to a live event, it could be sold out, 16,000 people, 19,000. It's like, but then I don't got nobody to talk about this to at work or in my. You get what I'm saying? Like what they at for real?
Yeah, I see. So I got okay. So I got two more things. I think what we ran out of time Wednesday, but what I was trying to get to on the show is that I think because UFC has been so successful with their pay-per-views. I mean, their pay-per-views are what, like $80, and then you have to buy the fight pass in order to be able to get them. So what, that's $90. So, and they do a pay-per-view seem like every 3 weeks now. So I think because UFC has been so
once a month.
I think because they've been so successful with this is that WWE at some point, well, TKO now is going to be like, look, the WWE network is cute, but we stand to make some really big money. Look at what the UFC is doing. And I think before this year is up, I say no, by WrestleMania next year, they are going to at least put WrestleMania back on the pay-per-view scale. And I said it Wednesday that if that happens, I'm done, because there's no way in the hell I've been paying $9.99 for 10 years to watch every show, every documentary, everything. And now you're going to tell me I'm going to have to fork out $50-$60 to watch the big four pay-per-views.
Hey Trevor,
That's not going to happen.
you're never done.
No, I'm not. Listen,
You might pause for a minute, just like me. Hey, I pause sometimes for a good minute, but I always come back.
When you're used to paying $10 a month, you ain't justifying 60 4 times a year. And I think that's what they're heading towards. And then my last thing,
well, if that happens, holla at me. I got you.
then my last thing before I go is so this is how I envision this. Starting next year, there's gonna come a time UFC runs their pay-per-views on what, Sunday, Saturday?
Saturdays.
They run their pay-per-views on Saturdays. There's gonna come a time where they're gonna make an event out of it and be like, hell, you're gonna have, you know how WrestleMania does the NXT on Saturday and on Friday night, then you got WrestleMania, then you got the SmackDown, you got the Monday Night Raw, they all do it as a package. Imagine this, the UFC WWE fight package. So on you got SmackDown on Friday night, you got the UFC event Saturday. WWE will probably push the pay-per-view back to Sunday, which will permanently put AEW out of business, but you know they're gonna have to do that. And then like just think about that though. You think about that ultimate epic fan's dream. For these large shows, just imagine if a UFC event fell on a WrestleMania weekend, and now you got WrestleMania and you got UFC bookending other shows. The amount of money that they could make off of that is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
To validate your point, I was listening to some MMA podcast and they were saying that exact same thing about they could imagine where they're gonna hold their events, but they didn't go as in depth with it as you. They was kind of like more like a rough draft. They were saying where they'll have package deals where, like, I remember one time, I forgot what UFC event it was, but it was the same night that Adesanya came out as the Undertaker. At that same night, there was a WWE pay-per-view, might have been Royal Rumble, literally right across the street from where they were having a UFC event. And so they were saying they can put it as a package, because right now, the way the UFC does it, people pay them to come to their city, to their arenas, so they can get tourism up. So now if they put the package deal and say, I'll bring the UFC and the WWE to you, then they stand to make more money that way. And also, the UFC has been jacking up the ticket prices like crazy. Like the last UFC we went to, we paid twice the amount of money. Well, I say like 1.5 times the amount of money for way the seats weren't nearly as good as the time before that when we went. And so
Hey, Trevor, that's what I was telling you Wednesday.
and I was looking at the pre-sale. All right, first of all, in order to buy your tickets on pre-sale, you got to be a member of the Fight Club. That's $90 a year. And then you get the tickets for cheaper. But looking at the Jones versus Miocic fight, do you know how much tickets were for the nosebleeds?
$800.
$900 to $1,000 for nosebleeds.
That's crazy.
Now I don't know if that's just because it's in Madison Square Garden and it's those.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's ridiculous. They're coming back here next year, and I was telling Janet, hey, I don't think we gonna even. I don't even want to know how much that shit costs. We'll probably stay at home and throw the best fight party in the world for like a quarter of the price.
Yeah, MSG is very expensive, but yeah, I remember that event because they were even saying how Triple H, they rushed out of the event so they could go catch the main event.
Yeah, Triple H.
Yeah,
Vince,
that's I think Triple H and Vince was in the crowd.
Yeah,
that night,
it was
right?
Triple H, Vince, and Stephanie. That's where they took the picture of them. They say that's when the deal was set for the TK for the Endeavor purchase was that night. That's when that happened. But I just think I wouldn't look at it as a bad thing because I know I was joking with you saying that you're gonna start seeing stand crossover. I don't think so because Vince is not in control. If Dana White wasn't in control, Dana White kind of has more say so. If he wasn't the authority figure, then I'm be like, boy, you know what? They may do some foolishness, but no.
But I could see people like Conor McGregor going over to the WWE because
absolutely.
But I want to ask y'all this. So the other day y'all saw that picture with Bianca, Montez Ford, Triple H, Vince.
Yeah.
That was my first time seeing Vince McMahon in a long time. Why he look like
with the do-rag, right?
A thugged out Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, with the purple do-rag, right?
Yeah. He looked like a gangster Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with that lilac do-rag on.
And then the mustache is like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's crazy, man. But yeah, man, that's why I wanted to come up and just pick your brain up about that. See what you guys thought.
All I gotta say, if Conor McGregor go to the WWE, he'll instantly make Raw must-see every week or SmackDown, whichever show he on. Ha!
And he's been trolling Roman Reigns for like the past 2 years.
Let him beat Roman for the belt.
You think Roman gonna come to the octagon?
Nah, hell no. Roman barely can show up for work. And if you see the way The Rock looked tonight, man, that guy, wow. Jesus, wow. That dude is look like a monster. But yeah, man, I just wanted to come up, man. Let me go back down and let y'all finish doing your thing. Just wanted to pick y'all brain a little bit about
Appreciate it. That was a good convo.
All right, no doubt. Peace.
Hey, so Bones.
Yo.
You know what looks like a great card, and if you can, you can pull it up for me. Just to give a sneak peek into the future. Pull up UFC 294.
All right, give me 1 second.
I don't even really want to get into it because we're gonna have a whole show for that, but I just want you to take a look at it real quick.
Oh, I know what card that is. I just remember.
Yes, sir. We just had 293, right? I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You good. Hold up.
And in the meanwhile, while you're doing that, I would like to tell everybody to hit the like, hit the subscribe, something on the channel for everybody. We got Man Talk Mondays on Mondays at 6:05. Set your alerts so you can be notified. Hell of a show every week. We also got the post-game shows on Sundays. Pretty much you can come on and talk about your happiness or disappointment in the way your
Let's go, Bucks.
team performed. Mine wasn't so good last week, but I'm not tripping. It's just week one. Nobody win the Super Bowl or go to the playoffs in week one.
Yeah, I'll be on there again this following Sunday, talking about my Buccaneers defeating the Chicago Bears and Baker Mayfield throwing a couple touchdowns and Mike Evans going off. He's in a contract year, and he's trying to ball out so that way we can re-sign him, which obviously I think we should.
All right, that's Noche right there.
Hold up. Is even Germart going to be a decent card?
Yeah, that is.
I didn't even know Dawson and Green was fighting.
Yeah, they announced quite a few fights the other day.
All right, here we go.
Yes, sir. This is going to be a hell of a card if you just look at the main card alone. And I feel like Sean Strickland's next contender might come from this card.
Is that so?
I think so, possibly. I feel like they're not going to announce it yet, obviously, for obvious reasons. Even if it's not, they're not going to tell you it's not because that'll take promotion away from this card. So there you go, the main event, the rematch between Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. You got right there, Paulo Costa versus Hamzat Chimaev. That's going to be a banger. Very excited to see
Whoa, wait. Bro, Paulo Costa is favored?
I guess so.
No way.
It looks that way.
How?
I mean,
Hey,
I guess based off of resumes. I want to know how Hamzat is number 4 when he only had one fight in the weight class.
Because, man, you said it. You called it. They're trying to fast track it.
Yeah, and look at that right there. Islam Aliskerov versus Nasruddin Imavov. That should be fun.
Yeah, that should be.
It's a fight that they added that I don't see, but I'm pretty sure it's Tim Elliott versus Muhammad Makayev.
Okay.
Dudakova is a real good striker, up and coming. I think she finna
look at that one.
In Euphoria's career. Look at that. Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. There it goes. Tim Elliott, Muhammad Makayev. I see they don't really got them in order, and that card has still been put together. But look, both of them, number 10 versus number 11. And then you got number 2 versus number 6. And then go up some more. Those are definitely main card fights. Go up some more. Imavov, number 12. You got number 4 versus number 6, and then you got the title fight. So yeah, that's gonna be real fun.
Oh yeah. Also we got the review this coming Sunday at 10.
Yeah, Sunday 10. Is it 10 or 10:30?
10.
All right, we got the review show at 10, so check back in with us on Sunday so we can give you the results of everything that happens at UFC Noche, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. If you can, be sure to tune in to the actual fight itself. That way, when we come back, you can give us your input. Tell us what y'all think. We like to hear from y'all.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be on UFC ESPN Plus, right?
Yeah, ESPN Plus.
Yep.
So that's pretty much all I got for tonight. Anything else you want to say?
Now, by the time I talk to y'all again, the Bucks will be 2-0. Let's go Bucks. That's all I got to say.
All right, so I guess that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for joining in, and we'll see y'all next time. MMA Brotherz signing out.
Peace.
Peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
MMA, hosted by Zay Brotherz, the MMA Brothers.